Community control final hearing on the violation of the no contact order with Haley Rogers via the smart mail communications. You understand the charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Matthews?
Thank you, Your Honor. It's my understanding that we are here today for a final hearing on the violation filed on March 1st, and we are also here for a probable cause hearing on violation filed, I believe, yesterday. Mr. Gruss would waive his right to a final hearing on the March 1st violation, wishes to enter a plea of guilty, and wishes to waive his right to both a probable cause and final hearing on the newer violation and enter pleas of guilty to those also.
Well, one of the violations, the new ones, is getting kicked out of the jail treatment program. Is that your understanding?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the other is continued communication with Haley Rogers. Is that also your understanding?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so what are your plea to all these violations?
Guilty, Your Honor.
I'll accept your guilty plea and find you guilty. So I sentence you on February 21st. And by less than a week later, you're already contacting her. And then you continue to contact her. You get the device taken away from you. You get put in isolation. You get out of isolation. Immediately start doing it again. The next day. You don't care what anybody says. You just do whatever you want to do. What do you want to tell me?
It's hard being in isolation.
What?
It's been very hard being in isolation.
Okay. Well, what got you in isolation?
Myself.
What?
Myself.
Yourself what?
Not listening to the courts.
By doing what?
Talking to Haley.
Okay. So why were you talking to Haley?
Because I care about the girl. You know, the reason there's a TPO, I was living in Lakewood with her. I caught the domestic case. I went to jail, right? And when I went to jail, the prosecutor came and he's like, well, if you sign the TPO and she comes and signs TPO, we'll give you a personal bond. So not knowing what entitles with everything I signed.
Okay, so you violated the TPO. You pled guilty. I told you to have no contact, and you went and immediately started having contact. Right? Because what you said, what'd you say, you care for her?
Yes, important.
Did you talk to her on the phone? When?
Should have been. I got back from court.
Okay. After I told you not to have contact with you, you talked to her on the phone. Right? Is that a yes?
Sure, huh?
Okay. Because you said you care for her. Right?
Important.
Now, Ms. Henley, did you listen to the phone calls?
Prior to court, Your Honor, not post-court.
What?
Are we talking about the violation?
The violation.
I've listened to phone calls prior to the violation, not post.
Okay. So what did he say to her prior to the violation?
There were phone calls where he calls her a motherfucker, where he tells her how stupid she is, things of that nature, Your Honor.
Is that right?
Yeah, we have problems in our relationships. Not every relationship's not perfect.
You called her a motherfucker?
I mean, I don't.
You called her stupid?
And I apologize for those things, and we work on them. We're trying to work on them. She's important in my life. She's not somebody I just want.
Why do you think I said not to have contact with her?
Because it's TPO.
Who else did you use in that jail in order to have contact with her?
Sean.
Sean who?
Zaitis.
Okay. Who else?
Paul.
Paul who?
Reed.
Who else?
Can't even think of the top of my head. There's a couple people.
Well, think harder.
There's been a bunch.
What?
There's been a bunch.
There's been a bunch. Who else? Do you know Miss Henley?
I have a David Norris, Salvatore D'Angelo.
Is that right? David Norris? You got to speak.
Yes, Your Honor.
Salvatore who?
D'Angelo.
D'Angelo? Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Who else, Miss Henley?
That's all I have.
Okay.
It's accessible right now.
There's so much material to go through, and we don't have time to go through it all. What else do you want to tell me? Anything else?
just being in isolation's been horrible, man. Like I can't focus on nothing. I can't think. Like I just pace all day. I can't sleep. My anxiety, my depression, and my grandma passed. My uncles, my mom told me on the 12th, the day before I got put in isolation, got 6 months to a year to live. She's in and out the hospital. 100 things going on. It's not just Haley, you know. I have 100 things going on in my life outside of this. It's hard. It's hard being. I have depression. I have anxiety. I wake up in the middle of the night, the door slamming. Like my PTSD kicks in. Like I can't sleep. I'm up and down.
So you get out of isolation, and the next day you're doing the exact same thing that got you in isolation.
I was never out of isolation. Not one time have I been out of isolation. I went to class and they put me back in there. I'll be in class for an hour. I never ever have been out of isolation.
Okay. You want me to you want me once again to buy this song and dance that you were selling back in February, right? Right,
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Matthews?
Thank you, Your Honor. If the court is going to consider terminating Mr. Gruss's community control, we would ask the court consider a sentence of 9 months with credit for any time served.
All right, I went back and reviewed the pre-sentence report that I reviewed before your sentencing 6 weeks ago, reviewed the drug and alcohol evaluation, reviewed some of the material. It's so voluminous that I haven't reviewed it all on these violations that you've admitted. Clearly, when you walked out of here, you had no intention of complying with the order, since you violated it almost immediately. Your juvenile record consists of a theft and receiving stolen property in 13, attempted receiving stolen property in 13, attempted receiving stolen property in 14, petty theft in 14, receiving stolen property felony in 14, numerous violations of probation, falsification in 15. As an adult, assault on a police officer, felony 4, in September of 17. February of 18, there's a violation. Sent you to prison for that violation. You got out on January 9th of 19, back in on a parole violation, readmitted to prison. Sent you to prison for that violation. You got out on January 9th of 19, back in on a parole violation, readmitted to prison. Drug abuse, drug possession, resisting arrest, obstructing official business in 18, receiving stolen property in 18, obstructing official business in 19. Go to prison July 6th of 22, get out October 15th of 22. 21, there's a failure to comply. May of 22, permitting drug abuse. July of 23, obstructing official business. That was the incident in Lakewood, in which Miss Rogers relates to the police officer. Gruss woke her up at about 10 o'clock, screaming at her because he thought she was cheating on him. Gruss picked up a knife and held it against his neck and arms, threatening to kill himself. Later on that same day, screaming at her, grabbed her by the hair and face, spit on her, blew snot rockets on her, took her into a bedroom, covered her mouth, held her down. They went to arrest you. You failed to comply with them, wouldn't get down on the ground when they ordered you to, then got up and ran away, hopped the fence. They caught you. You were arrested for domestic violence. On that day, Rogers texts her friend, stating that if anything happens to her, Rogers, that her boyfriend, Gruss, either killed or kidnapped her, and she asked her friend to call 911. You managed to get a obstructing official business, and TPO violation dismissed in Painesville. So then you land here with the aggravated possession of drugs, felony 3, and the violation of a protection order. So none of that stuff matters to you. If it mattered to you, you would have stopped doing it. But you don't stop doing it. You keep doing it because that's what you want to do. And you come in here February 21st and give me this tale of woe on how bad it is and how you really want to change. I put that condition on you of no contact with Haley Rogers. I ask you specifically, like I asked everybody, do you understand the terms of the community control? You say yes. I ask you if you have any questions, you say no. And then you proceed to go over there, get the tablet, and communicate with her. Then as a result of that violation, tablet's taken away, you're put in isolation. You get out on the 27th, you're at it again. And you're using at least 4 individuals to circumvent the order and to communicate with her. So you are no longer amenable to community control. I've considered all the statutes that are applicable, 292911, 292912, and 292913. And I'm going to terminate your community control. And on count 1, violation of a protection order, a misdemeanor 1, I'm going to sentence you to 180 days in jail. On count 2, aggravated possession of drugs, a felony of the 3rd degree, I'm going to sentence you to 30 months in prison. Count 1 is concurrent to count 2. You get credit for whatever the amount of time is that you've served. That'll be in the judgment entry. When you get out, you might be on post-release control for up to 2 years under the parole authority with conditions. If you violate their conditions, they could send you back to prison for up to 9 months for each violation, up to 1/2 of my order. If that violation is a new felony, you could get an additional consecutive prison sentence for the violation, the maximum of which would be the greater of 12 months or the time you have left under post-release control. There is still restitution ordered to Haley Rogers in the amount of $985. Anything else, Mr. Matthews?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.